have a Klon Centaur, which I love. I think is I think it's a really cool pedal. Again, I use it just sort of as it has a different voice. To me, I hear a different voice than with the Tube Screamer. They do different things. I'm grateful to have both of them, and I just can sort of pick whatever I'm feeling. If I'm playing with one and I think, well, that's not quite what I have in mind, then I'll jump over to the other one. But the Klon, again, is known as being kind of a clean boost, which I run the gain at about 10 o'clock. But I push the output a little bit so that it pushes the front end of the amp harder. There's like a nice blossom thing that happens with the notes. So again, I'll do something again, like it would just be like a... To me, that's a great sounding overdrive pedal. It's got a different voice than the Tube Screamer, but it's fun. A pedal that I got from the Cesar Diaz company. It's a Dillo, which is just a really cool sounding tremolo pedal, which I use a lot on a song called Over My Head when we play live. So it would sound with the Echoplex sometimes too. So it might sound like this. It might sound like. You know, something like that anyway. Just add some atmospheric stuff, you know, like it's cool with volume swells and things like that too, which is fun. Especially with the Echoplex and reverb, and you're kind of swimming around in there. So the next pedal is, it's an Octavia, and it's supposed to be a reproduction of, or a remake of the old Tycho Brahe Octavias. It's made by Chicago Iron, and I think that it's a really great, I think it's a really great sounding pedal, and they did a great job. I've used the old ones, and they're really cool. This one to me sounds really good. I've got another one that they made a few years ago, and I'll play you a little bit, tell you what it sounds like. Sometimes I'll use it. I don't use it very often, but I like doing stuff like this with it, where I grab two or three notes at the same time, so it would be like. Kind of sounds like a monkey, I think, sometimes. You know, it sounds like a. Or you can bend a note and then pick up another note with it, where it would be like. So it's just, it's actually my lady hates that pedal. She says, it sounds like I'm at the dentist. So it's kind of like, you know, it feels like your molars are getting grinded, but it's a pretty cool pedal. Directly above that pedal is something called a Megavibe, which to me is one of the best sounding remakes of an old uni-vibe. Very close. I've played it right beside the old ones, of course. I mean, you know, they always have something special, but Megavibe's pretty cool. I might use it on some chorded type stuff, where just turning the Leslie on the slow speed. So I might use it on some slow stuff with an Echoplex sound, where it would be like. You get the idea. So we're going to just talk a little bit. Mick, we were just chatting about the interaction between the fuzz face and the wah-wah. Now, if you only had those two pedals in your chain, if you have, now, like I was saying, I never understood the whole idea of putting something before or after. I just messed around until I liked what I heard, until I like what I hear. I still move these around all the time. But today, the way that we're set up is I have the wah-wah pedal on my right, and the fuzz face on my left. the fuzz and wah sound a little weird, but I roll my volume down, and to me that creates one of the most amazing wah, clean wah tones. And that's why I have two different fuzz faces here, fuzz face things. One's made by Cesar Diaz, that I was with him and we made it in his basement. It was super fun. He had this huge bag of transistors and we put together an amazing one. And so it's a germanium one. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna kick it on, hopefully it works. And I'm gonna use it with the wah and show you this clean tone that I'm talking about. This is how I like to run the fuzz and wah together. So you get a little bit of this, you get like So kind of the idea of that is that I like to get the wah as pure sounding as I can. So if I reverse what you would usually do, put the pedals in the other order, I find that you can get a really beautiful, with a Strat, you can get a really beautiful kind of clean wah-wah tone. That's how I like to run it. So the last pedal that we'll talk about is the old fuzz face. It's a 68. This one's a silicone, a BC 183. I'm kind of a wah and fuzz face nerd. Just kind of get way over the top with it, but the wah is a really old. It's an old script Clyde McCoy, which I really like, and this fuzz, to me, is one of the better ones I've had. I have a great sounding germanium one too. That's kind of needs to go to the hospital. I think it needs some love. So this one is the one that I love as well. So it sounds like this. I'm just gonna go full out because we might as well, right? That's why we're here. Bring it! They sound different every day too, so you don't know what you're gonna get. Cool. So that's my setup. That's what I kind of start with and hopefully end up with. So that's me.